the only way to kick off this episode, Season 3, Episode 1, after the NHL Entry Draft of 2021 is with a shot.
Oh, come on.
Welcome to Home Center Ice, the podcast. My name is Courtney.
I'm Jacqueline.
Where do you want to start?
Where is there to start?
Well,
at first the draft was just boring. Like it started at 7:00 p.m.
It's now 11:14
on a Friday.
p.m. Is it Friday?
Is it Friday? It is Friday. It's Friday.
It's Friday.
7 p.m. on a Friday.
My computer says it's Friday. I don't fucking know what day it is.
And it was just really boring for like 3 hours.
We recorded
3.5 even.
a whole second half of an episode in the middle of it.
We did do that.
We came back, and it was on pick 19. But when did we last record? Was it
Wednesday?
Wednesday?
Yes.
So much has happened since Wednesday.
The NHL has been on fire.
Do you want to talk about that and then get into tonight, or should we talk about tonight?
I feel like we need to talk about tonight.
Okay. Where do we start with that?
We can not ignore. We can talk about our pick.
Our pick.
Before we talk about the rest of the bullshit.
I know fuck all about our pick.
What's his name?
I don't know. Allen?
Yeah, like I was gonna say Richard Allen. That's not his name.
That's not his name. Actually.
It was a one-syllable name, I think.
If I go to the Blackhawks Twitter, that will tell me.
Hopefully.
See, we're kicking off season 3 with a fucking banger tonight.
It's been a night.
It's been a day.
It has been a day. And now it's been a night. It's been a time.
Nolan Allen.
Nolan Allen. It was
syllables.
2 syllables. I was wrong. I did my best.
That's not one. That's 2. Nolan Allen.
Nolan Allen. He's a defenseman. Yeah. That's what I know about him.
From the Prince Albert Raiders.
Yeah.
And Kevin Weeks compared him to Brent Seabrook on the ESPN broadcast.
Which Brent Seabrook? Because
hopefully good Brent Seabrook.
Because are we talking like 2010 Brent Seabrook, or are we talking about like 2020 Brent Seabrook? Because
can we not talk about the 2010 Chicago Blackhawks?
I'm so sorry.
Actually.
Okay, yeah, we need to not do that.
Even though we have
we will. We
will. That's probably the best place to start, really, because it really lays the foundation for everything else.
I mean, you're not wrong.
So in between when we last recorded and today, again, today's Friday, according to my computer.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, for like another few minutes.
About 44 more minutes.
Is it really
Friday.
only 11?
Yeah,
oh,
it's 11:16. I
thought it was later.
I think I mathed that correctly.
Yeah,
if I didn't, don't yell at me. We just did a shot. Don't yell at me. I'm sorry. We're kicking off season 3 with a drunk cast. I don't know what I was saying.
You were talking about...
Oh, yeah. Since we recorded last, it is Friday. We recorded on Wednesday.
Well, technically, we recorded earlier tonight.
You're right.
That is the last time that we recorded.
Well, the last published episode...
There we go.
We recorded on Wednesday. Because the other one... I am still editing since we recorded that tonight. Anyway. The Chicago Blackhawks.
Yep.
See, I say that name, and prior to May 2021,
something like that.
Is that when all of this dropped?
I'm not sure.
I would feel like some sense of pride.
Right, like that's my team.
In my body. Yeah, that's my team.
That's my team.
They suck, but that's my team. We've been through a lot of good years together. There have been a lot of good things. Now, when I hear the 2 words together, Chicago Blackhawks, all I feel is rage in my body.
There's just an empty pit where they are in mind, honestly.
There's no happiness. This is a very weird feeling for me because it's been 11 years of loving this team with everything I have. And now, they're going through the whole sexual assault court case, sweeping it under the rug, not reporting it to the authorities, even though everybody knew. The whole front office knew. The players
seemed to know. Especially with what was released. Was that today? Or was
yesterday?
I don't know. Sometime recently there was...
I want to say it was yesterday. Everybody knew. And nobody reported it. And it came out... Let's just go with yesterday. We got to pick a day. We'll go with yesterday. Because it wasn't Wednesday. Right. And I don't believe it was today. Okay. So, yesterday. In between, yesterday.
Thursday.
Yes. Thursday, July 22nd, 2021.
22nd? Yeah.
Yep. Today's the 23rd.
I know my days.
It came out that the victims of the sexual assault, or the survivors of the sexual assault, however they wish to identify themselves, while they were still playing, they received harassment from their teammates with homophobic slurs. I guess I should have said this earlier, but massive trigger warning because we're going to talk about the Blackhawks.
Big, huge fucking trigger warning right now.
Yeah. I will put that in the show notes because I should have said it a lot earlier. Yeah, so they were met with homophobic slurs on the ice at practice, such as people calling them faggots.
Mm-hmm. Telling them to go suck a dick.
Which was part of the sexual assault that they had to go through. And it also came out that Bradley Aldrich doesn't fucking matter how you say his name.
Piece of shit.
Yep. He threatened them with a baseball bat.
Threatened them with ruining their careers.
Mm-hmm. All of that. And the whole organization knew. There's no way that there was anybody who didn't know.
See, and the whole teammate thing, there's always going to be those people who are like, yeah, well, that's just locker room talk. That's how they talk to each other. No. Mm-hmm. No, it wasn't. It wasn't like that.
Yeah.
This was pointed.
Yes. Yeah, because with everything that went on, you can't just say, oh, it was a coincidence. That's what they would hear at practice and on the ice. And I don't even know what to say about that, honestly.
I wish I had more to say, but honestly, I'm just kind of shutting down right now, and I'm trying really hard not to.
Understandably so. And I don't know why, but somehow that is more disturbing to me than the organization knowing.
Oh, for sure.
I don't know whether it's because it's their peers and they're in the same age range and you always stick up for your teammates.
Right, where is the support? It's fucking bullying. Like, you're adults. Why would...
Yeah.
How can you act that way towards somebody?
Who was assaulted. And there's no names. We don't know. Mm-mm. We don't know who the victims/survivors are, and I hope we never know who they are. Yeah. We don't know who was saying these things to them. We just know they were teammates. I don't know if they were teammates on the Blackhawks. I don't know if they were teammates after they left the organization. It doesn't matter. Because obviously everybody involved in this organization was complicit to it. And so that's what we learned yesterday. And I don't know how to process that.
No, it made me want to vomit. I really wish I knew what to say, but I don't.
I don't think that there are words Really.
No.
Nothing will ever feel like we're saying enough
Right.
about it. Bless the reporters who are on this story and sticking with it.
Since they're the only ones
not
talking about
it. Mm-hmm.
The team isn't doing anything about it.
Stan Bowman is still employed.
Stan Bowman. Oh, you creature. I understand there's only so much you can say when you're going through a legal trial or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, not saying anything completely alienates the victims/survivors.
Mm-hmm. And everybody in the fan base.
Yeah.
Who
everyone
has gone through something like that or even hasn't, because how are you supposed to look at this team and feel anything good? And sports are entertainment at the end of the day.
Course.
There's supposed to be an escape. And now there's no escaping anything bad because this team has swept so much shit under the rug and we've excused so much bullshit for so long. And maybe that's on everybody in the hockey world for just letting them do this, letting them trot out Bobby Hull as an ambassador for the game, letting Patrick Kane still be employed by the team, letting all of this happen, and now we find all of this out about the 2010 team and Bradley Ulrich and the team just not fucking doing anything. I don't know. I think about this team and I just feel sick.
That's exactly it. There's no real other feeling except for like dread and just this empty pit, just this pit of rage. And just there's nothing that can be said to fix any of it.
Mm-mm.
I don't know what it's going to take to make me feel a connection to this team again.
No. Like,
even if he gets convicted and goes to jail, like,
he already has. Like, not for what happened with the Blackhawks.
He's a serial offender. Like,
he's a registered sex offender in the state of Michigan. And that was after he left the organization. But it was going on here. It was going on before he worked with the Blackhawks.
He was in a position of power, and he was doing this to not only some Blackhawks, he was doing this to anybody that was underneath him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, such an abuse of power in such a disgusting, repulsive way.
Mm-hmm. And they won't do anything about it. I don't know. I really don't know. And they just go on like nothing has happened. Like nothing is wrong. Stan Bowman was at the draft tonight on TV with the people announcing the draft pick, which was surprising to me, really.
See, it's really
but also
hard.
Not.
It's hard. You mean it's surprising that he was there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because I was going to say, it was surprising, but also not surprising that the group of people that helped him present their pick was a group of women. Because, yes, wonderful. Women involvement. Yeah, employ them. Like, of course. But at the same time, it just feels like another cover-up. Like, just look at this. Look at what we've done. Like, it's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like us again. Like,
did that also come out yesterday? All of the women in hockey that they were promoting, or was that Wednesday? I think it might have been yesterday.
Don't remember seeing that.
It might have been yesterday as well. All of the women working with the Chicago Blackhawks to further women's hockey and the women's role in hockey. And yeah, that's great. And
I don't want to downplay that because it is awesome.
No. But even
at the same time, though.
Yeah, and even if, nothing would surprise me at this point, but even if they are using it as a PR stunt because of all of this, the victims weren't female.
That's just it.
So this means nothing in regards to what has happened.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, this is us trying to do something positive in the wake of all of this happening.
Mm-mm.
Because since the beginning of time, sexual assaults against men have not been taken seriously.
Nope.
Ever.
Ever. Ever.
Especially in sports. Because as you were saying on our last episode, it's seen as a weakness.
Mm-hmm.
And people are supposed to be manly and all strong and all of that. And it has nothing to do with any of that. But that's a big reason why the victims and survivors aren't listened to, aren't taken seriously. And I don't know, it's near impossible to talk about this team right now because I just feel sick.
Precisely.
And I don't know. And then they come into today and they did the thing. They made the trade for Seth Jones. I don't know if they were trying to put another big headline into the universe to try to distract from what's going on, even though nothing is going to be a distraction from that. On ice, it's a horrible trade. PR-wise, it's not even a good trade. Sure, you get a big name, maybe the casual fans that you were referencing before that somehow exists, but I still don't understand. Maybe they'll see the name Seth Jones and go, oh, wow, they did something big. How about that? But none of that matters. Because nobody involved in this organization is willing to be held accountable for what they've done or haven't done.
Haven't done, exactly. It's the fact that nobody acknowledges it. It's the fact that they hid it. It's the fact that they didn't report it. It's the fact that they knew. They fucking knew. And did nothing.
Did nothing.
Nothing. Imagine being that victim or survivor. Just fucking imagine. And having no one around you supporting you. Like, I don't even know what to say.
Even if how they approached it legally and they didn't go to the authorities with it. Yes, they should have. But say that it played out the way that it has and they didn't go to the authorities. They weren't there to support their guy.
Yep.
They could have taken care of it privately. They could have been there to show him support on and off the ice. Maybe not in a legal sense by going to the authorities again, because they didn't. Maybe they would have their reasons. They wouldn't be correct, but maybe they would have their reasons. But they could have been there to support him/them. I don't know. I don't know.
They said there were at least 2 victims, didn't they?
I think so.
Okay.
But we don't know, and I hope we never know.
I never want to find out who. I hope the world never knows. I don't want them to be in the spotlight like that, just for their own sake.
Yeah, because it's not going to go well.
No.
Because
of course you're going to have those that support you. Like, of course. Of course.
It will be an overwhelming majority of people that will support them.
But there are going to be those people that will hold it against you, that will tear you down over it, that have no regard for how that might affect a person, that don't see them as a victim, just as a weakling, just as somebody who didn't stand up for themselves or didn't respond with violence or whatever. Like,
they'll always move the goalposts.
Absolutely.
No matter what. They'll say that they fought back and they'll say they didn't do enough. It will never be enough because somebody was a victim of a team that they root for and idolize. And you have to hold these people accountable. If you are a true fan of the game of hockey, if you are a true fan of the Chicago Blackhawks, you want these people held accountable because you want to see the best for the team. You don't want to see this shit swept under the rug. You want to see them gone. You want to see
Fire
good
everyone.
things.
Fire everyone.
Everyone. And there's front office wise, there's maybe 2 people who are left. We don't know how high that went, if Rocky knew about it or not. We don't know. His name has never come up in any of this. We don't know. It would be hard to think that he didn't, but we don't know. And as for the players who are left, you got 2 of them.
Right.
The captain and Patrick Kane.
Captain said he wasn't going to speak on it, and I've never heard Patrick Kane address it at all in any form.
And I think at this point that's probably for the best.
I agree.
Yeah. Because nothing good can come from that.
No.
It doesn't matter what he says.
No,
if he
not
says
at all.
that he knew and he
I don't think anybody's going to come out and say that they knew.
I 100% agree with you.
I'm sorry, continue what you were saying.
No, you're fine. I completely agree with you. But say best case scenario, he says that he knew and he was there to support his teammate.
Mm-hmm.
It's still not going to go well because the things that he's done.
Oh, for sure.
So it's best that they just don't bring up him right now. Because they need to deal with the people who were in charge, the people who had authority that need to be held accountable. Then you can deal with those 2 that are left.
Right.
And, I mean, ideally it would all be at the same time, but we know that's not going to happen. So,
in a perfect world.
Exactly. And we clearly don't live in that.
In one of those.
So you have to start at the top and work your way down. And I still don't see anything happening because they haven't shown that they are willing to do anything.
Nope. And again, I understand there's limits to what they can do or say during a legal trial, but at the same time, I feel like you have to. Like, even if it's not fully admitting that you knew, or even if it's not saying, oh, we didn't know, like, you could present an apology, not an apology, an acknowledgement, an acknowledgement, that's the word, yes. An acknowledgement that these players went through something at the hands of your organization. You could, even in a hypothetical, you can say, if these people, yeah, I know that sounds terrible because it sounds like they're saying
that they might not believe.
Right, yeah. But like, even taking into account that they're in a legal trial, I feel like they could present a hypothetical acknowledgement and apology saying that, like, we don't know what was going on, but if that happened, we deeply apologize. We acknowledge that you may have been a victim to this, and that makes us sick. Like, there's so many different ways they could say it. There's so many different things they could say without criminalizing themselves or implicating themselves as criminals. I just feel so disgusted.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really all there is to it. It's fucking disgusting. And we don't know how long this is going to play out. Ideally, it wouldn't be a super long time, but this happened 11 years ago. There's a lot of people to talk to.
Oh, yeah.
And it's hard to remember things that happened 11 years ago.
For sure.
So this isn't going to change overnight. But going back to what we've said this whole time since this came out, the easiest thing you can do as a franchise is fire Stan Bowman.
Just fire him. He didn't... He's made some good decisions for this team. Yes, of course. He's made some great trades, acquired some great people. But, like, at this point, what good is it doing you to keep him?
Right. Like, even if going back to the whole trial, you can't admit anything. The Blackhawks haven't made the playoffs in how many years? You can say, after reviewing where the direction we want to take the team, we feel that the best move is to alleviate Stan Bowman of his duties, and we have hired this guy.
Absolutely. It's that easy. That's all you have to do. That's it.
That's it.
That is it. That would fix. It's not going to fix everything. It's not going to make me love this team again all of a sudden. But it is something that you could do.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
No, it's a move in the right direction. And everybody would know why you did it. And it's not hockey related.
Nope. Even though there's always going to be those people who was, fuck Stan Bowman. Like, he can't make a trade. He can't.
Of course.
All that. But, come on. Like, we all know what this is doing.
Mm-hmm. And that's the absolute easiest thing you can do. And you have all of these years of not making the playoffs. You can blame it on the hockey product.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to say, because of things that are going on legally, we've decided to relieve him of his duties.
There's been plenty of GMs that have been fired.
For less.
But even not listing a reason.
Yeah.
Just, we've decided to let this guy go.
Yeah.
That's it. That's as simple as you could possibly do it.
Going back to the guy we always bring it back to, Gerard Gallant, when he was fired by Florida or Vegas,
right?
People were like, what the fuck?
Nobody said anything.
Yeah.
He was just suddenly not working for the team anymore.
Yeah.
It's that easy.
Mm-hmm. That's it. And yeah, people would know why. But you can spin it because they haven't had success.
Right.
They haven't made a bunch of great deals. Things aren't going well on ice product-wise. It would make sense to fire your GM. Mm-hmm. And it would make even more sense because of everything that's come out in the last few months.
I gotta feel like it's coming, right? Like,
I don't get that sense. There's no rumblings about it. There's no rumors. There's nothing.
Mm-mm. I'm just getting that feeling that, like, that deal that he made today, there was the guy.
It was like a final fuck you to the team.
Like, who was it? Was it
Shirelli when he signed Mikko Koskinen into that big ass deal?
Yes, that's the one. Like, if it's just, I'm gonna do this and then deuces.
Go out blazing. Like, that thought crossed my mind too. I just have no faith in this team to actually do that.
Me either.
So, yeah, I guess that brings us to today, where they did make that trade for Seth Jones, and I guess we have to talk about that. They sent... Who the fuck did they even trade? Adam Boquist.
Yes.
This year's first, so the technical 12th overall, but the 11th pick in the draft, and next year's first, which is top 2 pick protected. So if they end up with a lottery pick that's 1 or 2, then Columbus gets the next year's draft pick. In exchange for Seth Jones and a 6th, right?
Yep.
The 6th is coming back to Chicago. Not only that, but wait, there's more.
So much more.
There's more. Then there was the contract extension.
I don't want to talk about it, but we must.
What was it, 8 years?
8 years. 8-year extension.
8 years. He's 26.
Did we ever find out the exact number? Because there were multiples reported.
There sure were. We're just going to go with the worst case scenario because that's all I can assume this team will do at this point. $9.5 million.
For 8 years.
Not only that, but wait.
Wait, there's more.
There's more. And what is that more?
I don't even want to talk about it. I just don't.
The full no move clause?
The full no move clause. Full. For 8 years.
Before he's even played a game for your team.
Yes.
As he's trending downward in his career.
Yes. But they made it sound like, Keith was around his age when he got signed to his contract extension or when he was at his best. They're saying that Seth Jones probably hasn't even hit his best stride yet.
No, because see, when Keith broke into the league, I was not yet watching, but from everything that I have gathered, nobody was a huge fan of him at first, and people were skeptical. But then he just kept getting better, right? And then he became Duncan Keith. Seth Jones has already had that moment of everybody thinking he is an elite defenseman.
Yeah.
Now he's trending downward. This isn't a roller coaster. You don't start going down, 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 hit the bottom, and then shoot back up.
You don't think it's possible for somebody to have just like a couple of really shitty years and then bounce back?
Okay, look.
I'm not saying I think that's what's going to happen. I'm just saying you don't think that's possible?
Devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
So people were saying that he had a bad year and his numbers aren't looking good because the Columbus Blue Jackets aren't a good team.
Do you know where you're coming to?
Exactly.
Do you know that the Chicago Blackhawks are not great?
This is not a defensive dynamo team over here in Chicago. It's a very bad defensive team, really. The offense was fine last year. They scored a lot of goals. Great. Defense couldn't keep the fucking puck out of the net, no matter what our goaltenders did. You could have had fucking Vezina-winning Marc-Andre Fleury in net, and you would have had the same result because the defense was fucking horrible. And if Seth Jones is really trending down in his career, and they just signed him for 8 years at $9.5 million, he's making $1 million less than Kane and Taves, who have won you 3 Stanley Cups. Seth Jones hasn't won shit.
No. What makes anyone think that signing this man to an 8-year contract
before he plays a game with your team, you haven't seen him in your defensive
You don't know
system.
how he's going to mesh with the rest of the team on the ice. You don't know if he's going to do well with your other D-men. Like, you have no idea.
I don't have any idea what's going to happen.
Deal whatsoever about what this man is going to look like with the rest of your team. And you give him 8 years.
8 years.
8 years. Full no move.
Full no move. Did they not learn from signing Brent Seabrook to that big fucking contract that was a boat anchor to them for so long?
I got nothing, dude. Like, how do you even defend? You can't even say, oh, yeah, big name. We got him. Like, that's our guy now. This is great. Without having any knowledge.
How do you say that with a straight face?
Right.
Like,
and there's people online that are saying that, oh, well, we totally fleeced, they got fleeced. And, like, we totally won this trade. But, like, how?
How?
They're saying, oh, well, Boquist wasn't, it was basically 1-for-1. And, like, I can't even talk about it with a straight face. Like, it's not good. It's not good, and I don't know how people are thinking that it's good.
I don't understand it. I don't know why people were cheering for this deal to happen. I was trying to look in my Twitter likes for a tweet that I saw earlier. I thought I liked it. Maybe I liked it on the other account. I don't fucking know. I don't know what day it is.
Is it still Friday? For another 13 minutes.
Yes, it is, for now. It was something along the lines of Chicago finally got rid of their last bad defensive contract, and now they're signing another one.
Yep. Got rid of Keith. All right, let's bring somebody else in.
Who only had a couple years left. 2 years? 1 year? I don't fucking know.
I think it was 1 year.
1 year?
Yeah.
1 more year? Cool. And for the trade overall, before the extension, I don't necessarily mind losing Boquist.
Okay.
Yeah, it sucks because he's 20 years old, I think.
Yeah, he's very young.
Let me look this up so I can tell you precisely. Yeah, 20 years old. A 20-year-old defenseman who's got a fucking rocket of a shot. That sucks. And everybody's been yelling before coming into this offseason, get Duncan Keith off of the power play. Because we all know how that went. Shooting pucks into defenders' ankles and all of that. So they finally traded Duncan Keith. He was no longer going to be on the power play. It was Adam Boquist's time to shine.
Yep.
And then they trade him for a guy who's not good on the power play.
What is there to even say? Like,
I'm at a loss here.
What do you want from us?
I don't know why they did this. Other than big name hunting that we've talked about for a couple of episodes. I don't know why they did this.
Because it's going to satisfy that casual fan.
Yeah.
Is it
worth it?
Is it worth it? Is it logical in terms of hockey? No. It's not.
You know what I would be curious about?
What is that?
Hearing from Blackhawks season ticket holders how they feel about this trade. Or how they felt about the organization before the trade and how they feel now.
Yes.
I would
love to hear that.
Interested in that.
Because I know, as a season ticket holder, not for the Blackhawks, that's expensive. For the Ice Hogs.
We're broke over here, guys.
We're very broke. But like, as a season ticket holder of the Ice Hogs, I know that I have a better understanding or view of what players are and what they can do than the regular Ice Hogs fan that doesn't go to every game, that doesn't see that in person, because the eye test is real no matter what anybody wants to tell you.
Are there casual fans that go to Ice Hogs games?
Absolutely.
Are there?
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes?
Sometimes. But what I'm saying...
I'm mad at the Blackhawks. I shouldn't talk shit about the Ice Hogs. Although now they own them. We'll see how this goes.
But I know, as a season ticket holder, I'm going to have that more clear view of what players do and just natural chemistry on the ice. Exactly. So that's why I would like to hear from a Blackhawks season ticket holder, because they're there. They see it. The eye test is much more reliable in person than it is through any type of screen. So yes, I'd be very curious about that.
I hadn't thought about that until just now.
What was your reasoning?
Mostly just like the mindset around the team.
Okay.
Like, did this... How do I say this without insulting everybody? The casual hockey fan isn't very smart.
It's not that they're not smart. Listen, it's just...
If you're watching a hockey podcast, you're not a casual fan. We're not talking about you.
Very true.
The casual hockey fan is not very smart. We see it very often.
Very often.
Do they see the big name, even if they are a season ticket holder? Because some people just got that fucking money and they're like, you know what?
Absolutely.
The Bulls are sold out. The Bears are sold out. Let's go with the Blackhawks.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Why not?
Why not?
There's definitely casual fans in there and people who just use it for business things. Anyway,
of course.
They see a big name and they go, oh,
I know that one.
This is great. I now feel wonderful about this team because of what they did.
But
how many of them are on that side rather than what the actual fuck are you doing?
My question is, what percentage of those quote-unquote casual fans...
How? Anyway.
I don't understand it. But what percentage of them even know that this is going on? Because not everybody has a Twitter. Not everybody reads stories.
How? I'm jealous.
Not everybody reads the news about the sports team that they like.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if there was something going on with the Bulls, I wouldn't have a single fucking clue.
I barely know what's going on with the Bears except for what the official account tweets.
Exactly.
And I watch every game during football season.
Right. Yeah, same.
But I'm definitely a casual fan.
For sure. I would not call myself an avid football fan. Or basketball or anything except for hockey, honestly.
Hey, congrats to the Milwaukee Bucks for winning the NBA championship.
Good
I don't
job.
even know what your trophy's called, but you won.
But you did it, though. Good job.
Good job, guys. You're close to us. That happened since the time we last recorded, right?
Yeah.
Or was it before that?
I think it was.
Did everything happen yesterday?
No, I feel like that might have been Wednesday night. Like,
you're right.
During
it wasn't yesterday.
Our recording.
Yeah. I don't know.
They
won some. Maybe it was Tuesday. I don't fucking know.
It could have been.
We don't talk about basketball.
We're not a basketball podcast.
Oh, no, the Bucks won. Congrats.
But again, like, what percentage of the people that regularly attend games even know that this is happening? Which I feel like it's impossible to ignore, but that's just because we're not casual fans. But, like...
Yeah, because...
we have that social media interaction. We have everybody else yelling about it in that social media bubble.
And I feel like it's only there.
Yes.
You don't hear about it anywhere else.
No.
Like, I don't see it... Facebook sucks. But I don't see it on Facebook. I only see it on Twitter.
Yes.
I'm not on Instagram enough to know if it's on there. I don't really know why it would be.
I mean, I'm sure there's, like, sports drama pages or whatever.
Absolutely. But absolutely. But it's mostly on Twitter.
Yes.
And it's not full credit to Ben Pope because he's been reporting on it.
Absolutely.
Everybody else in the Chicago world, it's mostly been online outlets. Or not in Chicago.
Right.
Because you have... Laz and Scott Powers talking about it sometimes, but they're with The Athletic. So, internet, their app, I pay for The Athletic. Or you have Rick Westhead with TSN and Emily Kaplan with ESPN. But I don't think they're covering it on the regular ESPN channel.
I doubt it.
Maybe they are. I don't watch ESPN.
I don't either.
I bought ESPN Plus because it's going to be fucking streaming hockey next year.
Same.
So I did that because I hate this fucking league, but I can't tear myself away from it. Yeah. So I think you're right. I don't know how many of the casual fans would know about it.
That it's...
Or if they do know, they don't know all of the details.
Right.
They just know that
there's like a scandal.
Yeah. Like, oh, a Blackhawks player was assaulted.
Which is just watering it down beyond belief.
I mean, that itself is bad enough.
Right.
Like,
yeah. Like, why are you not enraged with this?
Exactly. You don't need all of the details.
No.
It only makes it worse.
Super enormous fucking trigger warning if you're going to go check out what has been released from the court papers.
Oh, yeah.
Because I read it, and usually I don't really get triggered, but that was a rough one. So don't go looking for that information.
The new ones or just all of them?
Well, I mean, all of them, but especially the new ones. They released details of what the assault actually entailed. And
yeah.
It
was a rough
That's
read.
hard. So yeah, don't go do that if it's going to trigger you.
Yeah.
I trigger myself sometimes just by like looking up things that I know are going to upset me.
You know, we don't always follow, like, do as I...
Oh, absolutely not. Do as I say, not as I do.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Bad idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had moved apart from that. What were we talking about? Oh, the casual fan.
I don't know. Oh, yeah.
Casual fan.
I was just in the moment. I don't know what we were talking about.
To be such a casual fan that you don't know everything that's going on.
Fuck, dude.
Like, you didn't follow every trade. You didn't follow every acquisition. You didn't know about the quote-unquote scandals. If you just weren't emotionally invested in the team. Can you imagine?
No, because I had that back and forth with myself on Twitter today.
Oh, for sure.
I said, I was so detached from this team. I'm just here for the chaos. This is great. And then the Seth Jones trade started becoming more of a reality. And I was so mad. I was like, what the I didn't care about this 2 minutes ago. Why do I care now? Because they're so deeply ingrained in my soul. And I can't pull them out of me.
Mm-mm. Because at this point, you're so deeply vested in it that
I've spent the last 11 years of my life on this team.
Right. And I'm not saying you become what you like, but it's definitely a part of your personality at this point.
A very large part of my personality. And 11 years might sound like nothing to some people who have been doing this a lot longer, but when it's all you focus on.
Right.
That's a long fucking time. There's going back to the episode that will be published before this one. There's no reason I should have known all of those draft picks.
No.
There really isn't.
You're hearing this now, then it's already out.
Yeah.
Go check out our
season 2, episode 16, the last episode of
the
season 2.
The last episode. It's a good one.
Yeah, it's a fun one. It's a lot more fun than this one, I promise.
Oh, absolutely.
We went over the past decade of NHL entry drafts and who the team from Chicago took and other big names that came after that.
It's an interesting one, I promise.
It's a good one.
I promise. It was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. I didn't count, but I want to know how many I guessed versus how many I didn't. I know there were more that I didn't than what I did.
Barely.
There were a lot.
There was a lot. You know what you're talking about.
Some of them surprised me. But yeah, man, the last 11 years, if I haven't been watching hockey, I've been reading something about hockey, listening to something about hockey, playing a hockey video game. Mm-hmm. It's just so in there. And my team has been the Blackhawks.
Right.
That I don't know how to detach myself, even though I desperately want to at this point because of everything that's happening, but I can't. And so I don't know what to do, and my head is so confused.
Mm-hmm. I feel like it's possible to love the sport, hate the culture.
Yes, but as my shirt says, change hockey culture.
Do that, yes.
From the Hockey Diversity Alliance, that's where the shirt comes from. I had people ask me before when I wore this.
Nice.
They don't sell it anymore, but that's where
they should bring it back.
They have other stuff.
What was I saying?
You can love the sport.
Oh, yeah. Love the sport, hate the culture, of course, is possible. I don't know what it would take for it to be possible to still love this team and still, denounce everything they're doing. I don't know where the line is to where it's acceptable to still love this team.
Right.
Because
that's what I'm also trying to figure out, because I do, and I hate myself for it.
Yes, exactly.
There's so much self-hatred because I still love this team.
Right. But we're calling out everything they're doing, and we're what more can we do except for not be a fan of the team anymore? Which, how do you just stop that?
I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, you've reported on other teams. Oh God, do we have to go there now? Have we gone there yet?
No.
Oh,
yeah, that's the thing. Toronto's not the one disappointing me tonight.
Toronto, we are now a Toronto.
They didn't fucking do anything today. Did they even have a first round pick? Did they do anything? I don't fucking know.
I don't know, honestly. It was while we were recording.
It's been a fucking day, dude. It's been a day.
A long one.
Last episode that I haven't posted yet, but it will be up before you hear this one.
You're talking about the draft one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I talked about being a Toronto Maple Leafs fan and a Montreal Canadiens fan.
Oh, yeah. One of my Montreal Canadiens. I thought I was done getting emotional, but we still haven't talked about this.
I haven't gotten there. Because
it just happened, for one. But
yeah, it's now Saturday.
All
Just
right.
so we know.
It's next day.
It's the next day. So, as you said off the top, the entry draft was fucking boring as
Yes,
shit.
absolutely.
Nothing happened.
No, it took them almost 4 hours to get through 31 picks.
32.
32.
Yeah,
No, because
31.
Vegas didn't. Wait. No, Vegas was exempt from the
Arizona's
expansion.
one was forfeited.
Forfeit,
So,
right? Okay.
technically 31,
Yeah.
but
You know.
the Chicago team picked 32nd overall. Yeah, so it was very boring. We recorded in the middle of it, like I said. And then we got to the end of it. And somehow it was the absolute most fitting ending to an NHL draft that you could possibly have. And that's the problem. So pick 31 was the Montreal Canadiens. Mm-hmm. Pick 32 was the Chicago Blackhawks. We already said the Hawks picked Nolan Allen. Is that his fucking name?
I think
fucking
Nolan Allen.
Yeah, defenseman who would have been there tomorrow. Whatever. Anyway, so it gets to the Habs, and Marc Bergevin is on the television screen. The same Marc Bergevin who worked for the Chicago Blackhawks in 2010 as the director of player personnel.
Yeah.
And the same Marc Bergevin who during the playoffs said he didn't know anything about what happened, and you could see, I can't even quote that again. Like I tried to the first time we talked about this. You can run with it, whatever. So he gets on the screen, and he announces their draft pick, mostly in French because the Canadiens, and they draft Logan Mailloux. I don't fucking know how to say his name. It doesn't fucking matter. The kid who was charged in Sweden for distributing sexual photos without his sexual partner's consent. The actual sexual action was consensual. The photos were not. He put out a statement. I want to say this was yesterday, too. Everything was yesterday. Anything before today was yesterday. He put out a statement saying, like, don't draft him.
I thought this was like a week ago.
Oh, no, it was very recently.
The letter?
Mm-hmm.
Or the...
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Again, it might not have been yesterday. Anything before today is yesterday.
It honestly doesn't matter
It really
single bit.
Doesn't fucking matter.
Okay, continue.
So a lot of people were speculating that he wouldn't be drafted, possibly.
Because he specifically asked not to be? Because he wanted to become a better person?
Mm-hmm. And even before then, there were also speculations he wouldn't get drafted because of what he did. But no. With pick number 31, the first round of the 2021 NHL Entry Draft, the Montreal Canadiens were up. Marc Bergevin, formerly of the 2010 Chicago Blackhawks, got on screen and announced that they had drafted somebody who was charged with a sexual crime. And that pick was followed by Stan Bowman being on the TV, announcing the Chicago Blackhawks pick at number 32.
If that's not the biggest fuck you and slap in the face to not only the victim, but every other woman out there who's ever dealt with any form of sexual harassment, any form of being quote unquote victimized by a man and not having people take you seriously over it. How do you live with yourself, dude? How do you not see how this is not... It's... Words.
And then being followed up by the Blackhawks saying, fuck male victims, too.
That one, too! Any survivor.
Any
single person who has ever been through any type
male,
of...
female, non-binary.
All of them.
Anybody. It's a massive middle finger to literally everybody.
It was so hard to even start this podcast, honestly.
We were just sitting here in silence because what are we supposed to say? I don't even know what we've said so far.
I don't either.
I figured, I don't know why I figured that he wouldn't get drafted this weekend.
Well, no, I assumed, hey, this kid
It was wrong of me.
This kid doesn't feel like he deserves to be drafted yet, which it could have just been a PR thing.
It absolutely was that. And, like, it is what it is when it comes to his statement.
But you
should be able to look at what he did and say, this kid doesn't deserve to be drafted. This kid doesn't deserve to be drafted in the first round by a GM who was employed by the Chicago Blackhawks in 2010.
This kid doesn't belong in our organization because his moral values do not match up with what our standard. Like, how hard is that?
Well,
how hard is that for any GM to say? Mark Bergevin, obviously, he's a different story than anybody else, but I just don't understand how anybody can live with themselves. It's so easy to not pick him. You know how many other kids are out there waiting to be drafted?
So many.
You know how hard
it is to be drafted into the NHL?
That's the one. I just don't understand what excuse you could possibly make. I'm picking this guy, like...
And they just went up there and did it.
They just went up there and said his name.
I don't know why I can't find any of the tweets that I wanted to read. Maybe I was on a different account.
It makes me fucking sick.
I don't know why I was shocked.
I was too. I know I shouldn't be. But you would think... Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, just you would think being the GM of any team, it would be easy enough to just not pick this guy. That's all you had to do is just not pick this guy. Especially in the first round.
Mm-hmm. Like you said, there's so many kids.
So many.
Who are looking to be drafted into the NHL.
And I guarantee you that some of them are better than this fucker. Like,
absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't understand. How do people live with themselves? How do they not see this as wrong?
I don't know. I don't know. I know I retweeted this or liked it, and it's not on either account. Anyway.
Do you remember vaguely what it said?
Yes.
Okay.
It was somebody pointing out that Montreal's morals haven't really
I think I know exactly
been in line at all. See, you're not going to be able to find it either.
Did it get deleted?
It might have, because I swear I liked it, or I retweeted it, or both, because I wanted to read it out. But
I think I found it.
Did you find it?
I think.
Oh, come on. I looked at both. Oh, it doesn't matter. Is it the one with the screenshots?
It is not.
Oh, it's a different one.
Oh wait, I have those two. I have those too.
All
right.
Okay, go for it.
The caption on this one with the screenshots.
Who tweeted it?
Andrew Berkshire.
Okay, cool. Berkshire.
The caption says, "The Canadiens' definition of character has always been a load of bullshit."
That's the one I was looking for.
Yeah, the first one, screenshot that is of the title of an article. Canadiens interested in signing defenseman Slava Voinov.
Wife beater.
That's the one. Second one, a screenshot of a tweet by Darren Dreger. New York Rangers were willing to mutually terminate Tony DeAngelo's contract to allow him to pass through waivers and sign as a free agent. Montreal believed to very interested... I think there's missing a word.
Yeah.
Montreal believed to be very interested as early as this weekend. However, DeAngelo opted not to accept. He will be bought out of his contract this summer.
Racist. And he was just bought out. He was put on unconditional waivers for the purpose of being bought out. And
then the third one is a screenshot of a tweet by Elliot Friedman that says Montreal selects Logan Mailloux 31st. Well, it says 31st.
31st.
It says 31st.
It does. Okay, for
31st overall.
It's been a long night. We'll let that one slide.
Oh yeah. Yeah. There's those.
Yeah, that's exactly the tweet I was looking for, so thank you for finding that. Do you want to hear the Habs statement that they released? Because you should always have to release a statement after making a first-round draft.
Right. Explain yourself. No, the other tweet says Mark Bergevin was part of the 2010 Blackhawks in a director role, showed interest in Slava Voinov, hired Sean Burke, went after Tony DeAngelo, and now just drafted Logan Mailloux. It's a pattern. All of those are active choices.
After aggressively stating he didn't know what was going on in 2010.
Yeah.
So here's the Montreal Canadiens statement.
Okay, I've not heard this. I purposefully avoided it.
I haven't read the whole thing.
Okay.
I've only read a few sentences, and I saw a load of bullshit, so I stopped reading so I wouldn't get angry before we
I already know that's what this is going to be, but I do want to hear it.
I feel very bad for whoever had to write this.
Oh, yeah.
I feel bad for the social media manager because they didn't make this.
Oh, they're getting piled on right now.
Yes. And I hope that they know that it's not them.
Mm-hmm.
So this is their statement. The Canadiens have released the following statement after selecting defenseman Logan Mailloux 31st overall in the 2021 NHL Draft on Friday night. By drafting prospect Logan Mailloux with the 31st overall pick, the Montreal Canadiens organization not only selected a promising hockey player, but also a young man who recently admitted to making a serious mistake. The Canadiens are aware of the situation and by no means minimize the severity of Logan's actions. Logan understands the impact of his actions. His recent public statement is a genuine acknowledgement of his poor behavior and the first step on his personal journey. Personal journey. We are making a commitment to accompany Logan on his journey by providing him with the tools to mature and the necessary support to guide him in his development. We are also committed to raising awareness among our players about the repercussions of their actions on the lives of others.
Dude hasn't even apologized to his victim.
Nope. But he's on a journey.
Oh, fuck his journey.
He's on a journey.
Fuck his journey. Like fuck every step of his journey.
It's like a nice airplane flying high above the clouds.
I hope it crashes.
Yeah. He's on a journey, and they're accompanying him.
This makes him sound like a victim. Like it's.
There is one set of footprints in the stand.
Oh God! Don't start that.
Because Mark Bergevin is carrying Logan Mailloux through his journey of maturing.
Oh my God!
That is why Mark Bergevin is so buff, so he can carry his troubled players on their journey.
Troubled players.
Through maturing.
How do you release this statement with a straight face? How can you honestly believe in anything that is said there?
I would quit.
Honestly.
If I was their public relations person, if I was their... Really, it needs to be their crisis management person on this because, wow. And that's all I could really say after it happened was, wow.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't believe what I was hearing. yeah, it needs to be their crisis management person. And if they don't have one of those, that's also a problem. But if I was their public relations person or crisis management, I would quit because they knowingly put you in that situation. They acknowledged that they knew what happened. And they are willing to accompany him on his journey.
Oh, God, that makes me want to punch somebody in the face.
Saying absolutely nothing about the victim / survivor,
None?
however she would like to be
Not a
referred
word.
as.
Only talking about his mistake.
His mistake made by a young man because he is
man.
a promising hockey player.
Because being a young man excuses you from any wrongdoing.
You know, if you kill people while you're driving a car, but you're a rich white boy,
If you are white.
that affluenza will get you every time.
Ooh.
First round.
First round! First fucking round!
First round.
You couldn't even let him slide if you really, really wanted him, no matter what. You could have let him go until much later rounds, which still would have been wrong of you, but it wouldn't have been the first fucking round.
Oh, here's another tweet I was looking for. It's from Todd. Their Twitter handle is @totally_offside. Mayu didn't even drop. This wasn't a desperate team setting aside their morals to grab a guy they couldn't have otherwise gotten. Habs just straight up took him in his projected range. Comparable talents available, and they took Mayu anyway. They just do not care at all.
100%.
Here's another tweet.
Let's go.
From a friend of the show, Catherine Silverman.
What's up, girl?
What's up, Kat? 50% of the human population is women, and statistically, over 3/4 of them have dealt with sexual harassment during their lifetime. Even if you want to claim a player is worth taking the risk on, that they've matured, what a slap in the face to female fans.
Oh, yeah.
Here's another tweet from her.
Let's
This
go.
one was from July 17th, but she retweeted it tonight.
Okay.
Again, Kat Silverman. I keep seeing more discussions about Logan Mailloux and want to just stress that playing in the best hockey league in the world is a privilege, and there is a huge gap between ruining someone's life and refusing to draft them. Amazing we still have to discuss this in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Also, haven't seen a single man shilling for giving this kid a second chance, while also considering what doxing a woman with non-consensual photographs of sexual acts can do to her quality of life. At best, women who have intimate photos disseminated without their consent are viewed differently in professional and social settings. At worst, they can be targeted by men with oppressive views and violent tendencies. No one is out to harm this prospect, but we can't say the same about his victim. Just some stuff to think about.
Thank you, Kat. Thank you.
Yeah. From Rob Wong @WongSN590, Sportsnet590. The kid said, "Don't draft me. I need to become a better person and earn my way back." And the Habs were like, "Don't worry about it."
Mm-hmm. Just said, nah, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm. Another one from Kat. She was quote tweeting someone named Tom Collins @DH_new F Collins. So how long before Montreal renounces this pick, similar to Arizona a year ago when they drafted, the fuck was his name? I don't know, Mitchell, whatever. And Kat quote tweeted that and said, honestly, do they? Arizona's selection came before Mitchell Miller. Oh, Mitchell Miller. Mitchell Miller's bullying incident became widely known. Montreal made their pick not only knowing that everyone was aware of the situation, but after the player requested not to be drafted.
That's just it. All they had to do was not pick him.
Literally.
There's always going to be a replacement.
Mm-hmm.
I saw another tweet. I think it might have been by her.
I have one more to read myself.
Go for it.
From JD Burke at J. Dylan Burke. Trying to write about the draft and just 1,000 miles staring my way into my computer. Still just absolutely floored by the way that ended. Deeply upset.
That was us before we finally got the nerve to just turn on the camera.
And I think that about sums up how everybody is feeling at the moment.
Yes. This is a tweet from at Mo_Taves.
Okay.
The Habs really said, we could pick a player that's maybe 5% less skilled, but 500% better of a human being, but nah.
But going back to our last episode that we've referenced before, going over the last decade of drafts, how many players did you give me in the first and second round that didn't play in the NHL? There's no guarantee that this kid is going to play in the NHL. There's 100%. No guarantee that he's going to be a great hockey player for your franchise.
There were plenty of people that we read off that it was like, never made it to the NHL. Yeah.
And you're willing to take that risk. When, on the flip side of that, how many kids did you give me the names of in the later rounds who have been fucking amazing? And they're just waiting after this kid and where he's slotted to be drafted. And they could be the impact player for your team. And I don't like putting it like that because hockey doesn't matter. But
yes,
that's the way that a lot of people will see it is, well, he'll be good for the team. Or if he becomes a superstar, then, you know, maybe he's matured and he's all better now. So you have to put it in terms of like the sport that they play. But at the end of the day, the hockey doesn't matter. What he did to this poor woman is fucking disgusting. And I can't imagine being her or her family right now, seeing this kid drafted in the fucking first round.
What an absolute kick in the gut.
And then they release a statement saying he's on a journey.
He's all right.
He's on a journey. What about her fucking journey to healing? They didn't care about that.
I don't like to put it this way, but sometimes you don't heal from shit like that.
Exactly.
You can go to therapy all you want. You can do the work. It doesn't always fix anything.
Exactly.
That is a permanent thing that happened to you. That is your trauma.
And there's no scale of severity here.
Oh, absolutely not.
Because everything affects people differently.
It is all subjective.
Everything is subjective. Anybody who has been made to be the victim or survivor of a sexual act, there's no scale there. That's all trauma. 100%. It's all fucked up. It's not, oh, well, you only went through this.
Right.
It's not as... No. There's no fucking scale.
It's not a competition.
It's not a competition. There's no scale. It's all fucked up. This kid did not deserve this.
And that's the thing. He knew he didn't deserve it. Even if it was just a PR thing, he had to acknowledge that, shit, I did something wrong. Even if that was just being put out so that he would get more attention and maybe there would be a better chance of him getting drafted. Even with him saying, don't draft me. You know, to some people, that's like, oh, well, he must be good if he's saying, don't draft me. I mean, whatever. But
which I saw plenty of.
Oh, for sure.
On Twitter, because I made the mistake of reading the comments.
Never go to the comments.
I shouldn't have done that. But there were plenty of people saying things like that. Like, oh, this is such a mature move. And somebody told him to do that.
Right. Definitely. So, like, even though we know that's the case, he still had to, at some level, acknowledge that he did something wrong. Even if he didn't feel bad about it. He still had to say, oh, I did this thing wrong. Which I think more people should do. But
first of all,
it just... Oh, I hate that I keep trailing off on this because I feel so deeply about it. I just don't have the words.
And that's okay. Because there's no words that, like going back to the Hawks, there's no words that feel good enough to express all of the feelings that go into this.
For sure.
Because it's something so deep and something that impacts people so horribly and so deeply down to their core. There are no words that describe that. Mm-hmm. And then something like this just happens, and it's like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what he did.
It doesn't.
He would have been taken in this spot if he hadn't done that. And then he did. And he's still ruined if not ruined her life, ruined her year, decade. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Ruined her day. It doesn't fucking matter. Yeah. It doesn't matter. And Marc Bergevin and the Habs said, I don't care.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. We're going to take this kid because our hockey team means more than your life does.
This league is so tainted. In one of the last episodes, I said, as a survivor, I stand with survivors. And that will always be the song I sing. Mm-hmm. I shouldn't have to keep addressing sexual assault, sexual harassment allegations.
Right.
It shouldn't be a thing that continues to happen in the sport of hockey.
And yet it's so deeply ingrained in the roots of it at every single level. Mm-hmm. I don't even know where you start. Holding the big teams accountable?
I mean, maybe that's a start. I don't know if it's the start. I don't know what the start would be, right? I just feel like we shouldn't have to keep talking about this shit. Mm-hmm. But we do. Mm-hmm. We do need to talk about this shit. And I don't care if you're one of the people that's like, oh, stick to the actual game of hockey. Like, no. Don't fucking listen if you don't want to hear about it.
You can hit the unsubscribe button right now.
Please, right now. We don't want you around.
No.
Because it's so fucking important to talk about this stuff.
And it's part of hockey, unfortunately. We don't want it to be. Nobody wants it to be.
I never would have become a fan of hockey if I thought that this shit was such a big part of it.
We would love to just talk about the game and all of the fucking trades that went down.
That's all we wanted to do.
And all of that. And the sad part is it doesn't even matter which sport we would have chosen.
No.
Because it's in all of them.
It sure is.
And it comes down to how society views men and masculinity and the toxic masculinity that we talked about before. Mm-hmm. Because as I haven't gone through it, but from what I can gather, as somebody who would go through something such as a sexual assault or anything along those lines, harassment, anything, it's so hard to come out about that. Mm. But as a male coming out to men and they don't listen to you and they tell you that you just weren't strong enough to fight them off, as you're trying to make it as a professional athlete, it's no wonder this shit doesn't come out more.
Oh, I guarantee you there's more victims that don't ever speak a word of it to anyone.
1,000,000%.
To anyone, let alone their teammates. Like,
because they don't want to be looked down upon by their teammates.
And that just proves the point when we heard in these these legal documents that have been released over the past few days. How do you... I don't know if he came out to his teammates. I don't know if his teammates found out through some other source. I don't know. How can you think that you're any type of safe, not just physically safe, but even just like mentally comfortable with people around you, knowing that they know this and making fun of you for it?
Right.
That makes me absolutely fucking sick to my stomach.
Like, I don't like to say it, but it's amazing this person is still with us.
That's what
After going through all of that, not being believed by their team, the people who are supposed to take care of them, the NHLPA not doing fucking shit, saying, oh, that's up to the fucking team. After they didn't do anything, you go to somebody higher up than them and they don't fucking do anything. And then you have your teammates on the ice and in the locker room calling you a faggot? Are you serious? I don't know. It's amazing they're even still here.
Yes. And that's terrible to say. It's fucking horrible to even think like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's true. When you can't turn to anyone for support,
the people who are supposed to be there for you.
100%. After you have this terrible trauma, you go to people and they not only don't support you, like I keep saying, but they make fun of you. They're at your throat about it. Not feeling that safety, again, not just physically, but emotionally safe around these people that are supposed to be part of your team, part of the people that take care of you. How can you even go on? Like, they had to have had friends, people, family outside of the team that was supportive of them, because
I fucking hope that they did. And I don't want to completely vilify the teammates because we don't know how many of them also went through it.
Oh, for
and
sure.
And that was their coping method.
Absolutely.
We don't know. But if they weren't, if they didn't go through something like that, and they just thought this was something funny that they could say, and that's just fucked up.
But I mean, I'm sorry, were you still?
No, go for it.
Okay. We've heard, I don't remember who came out about it, about being in juniors, and who was that?
What was the story?
About all the harassment they went through and the sexual assault
hazing and all that.
And
I can't recall his name right now.
He was a person of color, right?
On the Hawks team?
Maybe.
I mean, there was Akeem Alou.
Right. Was he the one? I think it might have been him.
I don't know if he talked about sexual harassment. That was more racial.
Well, but there was somebody that said something about being forced into a bus bathroom naked with these other teammates.
It might have been him.
And that starts down at the lowest levels.
If it wasn't Akeem, it was somebody. It was around that same time.
Yes.
When that came out.
When, people were saying all of these things that they went through.
It might have been him.
Just the fact that it starts that early. He was, 16 at the time? Mm-hmm.
It starts in junior. It probably starts younger than that.
It's just so fucking ingrained in sports.
Mm-hmm. We also had that other prospect come out during the stoppage last year talking about all of the hazing and everything he went through. Being forced to do drugs and...
Right.
Just watching those videos, it was horrible because you could see the pain in his face from having to go through all this. People that you trust, people that you go to battle with, your teammates, your coaches, anybody in the organization, and they treat you like that. How do you trust anybody?
You can't.
You can't. And it's amazing that people come out the other side of that, but you can't blame anybody who doesn't.
Right.
Because that's so fucked up and people are there just to harm you. And nobody helps. Nobody listens. And they have every resource to do so, especially when you get into the higher leagues such as the NHL. They have every resource to help you out. They have billions of dollars if they want to throw money at it. Give you the best therapist in the city of Chicago. Anything. And they don't do anything.
It's just disgusting, and I feel like I'm talking in circles, but I could keep talking in circles for days, honestly, because this...
Me too. Because I don't really know where it goes from here.
I mean, that's like what we were saying earlier. What would fix this? What would make it okay to be a fan of this team again? Like, I don't know what they could possibly do.
Because it just feels gross.
Exactly. And, like, firing Stan won't fix that. It'll be a step that they should take, absolutely.
Something. It's a step.
It's
yeah.
a step, yes. But that's not going to fix it.
It doesn't fix
It's not
it.
going to negate anything that happened while he was here.
And you can't just fire Stan and be like, we're donating blah, blah, blah to victims of sexual assault and all that. Like, yeah, that's great. That's part of it. That's sadly what you have to do for public relations, but it doesn't fix it.
And again, I don't know what would fix it.
Me either. And like just getting rid of the team, that doesn't fix it.
No.
That's more just like nobody has to think about it.
Right.
Because they're gone.
Yep.
It's just, it
And
evaporated.
also, like, realistically, they're not folding this team. They'll never fold this team. It's part of the original six.
It's
one of the biggest markets. Like, it's not going to happen.
They're not just going to be like, well, the Blackhawks are gone. Now we have this Chicago team.
Right. Yeah.
It's not going to happen. Like, I get the thought process behind it, but it's not realistic. It feels gross. And I don't know. The worst part is I know that every time there is news about this team, it like sparks something in my brain. I'm like, oh, Blackhawks.
Right.
And I hate it. And I hate myself for it. Because I don't want it to be that way. And I want to be able to ignore them completely. But I don't think... I don't know. Just not talking about them. It's not fair to other people who are like us.
Right.
You know?
And it would be wrong of us to not talk about this, too.
Oh, yeah.
Because anybody that isn't speaking about it is contributing. I mean, silence is compliance. It's that simple. But anybody who has a platform, no matter how small, I mean...
Yeah.
Look at us.
Yeah, we're not the Athletic.
Oh, God, no. But, like... I don't know how you can report on this team without reporting on these things.
Right. And it doesn't feel right to talk about other things. I've tried so hard to be like, all right, this thing happened. Duncan Keith was traded. I need to make a video about this. And I'm just like,
right.
It doesn't matter.
No.
It doesn't matter. The hockey doesn't matter.
Not while all this shit is going on.
This person or these people out there suffering because of this team that I root for.
Yes.
Hockey does not matter.
Nope.
And so I don't know what to do because that's what we talk about is hockey and this fucking team. And I don't know what to do. I don't know.
The most we can do is just keep doing what we're doing. I mean... Please, if you have a suggestion, what we could do differently, what we should be doing, let us know.
Rooting for the Montreal Canadiens. Nobody would have thought in the year of 2021 the Toronto Maple Leafs would be the least upsetting team that you could root for. Out of a team that made it to the Stanley Cup final and... the other one who won 3 and 6.
Yeah, that one.
But Toronto is the least upsetting.
Problematic.
Least.
Out of
I can't even say that because tomorrow is happening. Who knows what happens tomorrow, what'll be reported.
There's always going to be a tomorrow.
But for now, they are that team. I feel it's like any team you could possibly be a fan of in the NHL, something's going to come out because of how deep all of this is ingrained. Like, look at last year, like with the fuck is his name? Mike Babcock.
I was gonna say Babs.
Bill Peters with Carolina and then Calgary. Like, it's everywhere, but it's not always this.
Right.
And a team just covering this shit up for a decade, which was supposed to be the best decade in their history.
But it's so tainted now. How can you look at those cup wins without also thinking of this?
how can you think of any of those players that you loved and idolized? And they were around. If they were on that, at the very least, if they were on that 2010 team.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them did leave after that year. But if they were on that team, I don't know. Like, I tried to make sense of all of this in my head. And I'm like, well, a lot of people from that team talked so highly about this organization.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people came back.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people, because that's what Bowman does.
I don't get it. I don't understand. Everybody knew this happened. Is it just... like, because first and foremost, we always believe the survivors and the victims.
Mm-hmm.
So going off of this 100% happened
Mm-hmm.
the way that they said that it did, which is what we have to go off of, believing them because they have no reason to lie.
Yeah, they, like we've said before, they have nothing to gain by alleging this. Like, nothing good will come to them by saying this happened.
I don't understand. I don't get it.
Mm-mm.
I don't get it. Is it just something that doesn't matter to any of those people? Is it something like, well, it didn't happen to me, so I don't care?
Right.
I don't know. I can't make sense of it in my brain.
Mm-mm.
How so many people from that team and around that era talked so highly about this organization, and yet
this was going on behind the scenes.
Yeah. At least that 1 year, that one cup year, the first one, it was going on, and we have to believe everybody knew. And so many of those players stuck around,
Mm-hmm.
came back.
Mm-hmm.
I can't make sense of it. Nothing connects in here.
I'm with you on that 100%. But also, you think maybe for a lot of these guys, since it is so ingrained
Mm-hmm.
in the culture of hockey, in the sports.
Yeah, sports. Doesn't matter.
Sports ball.
We
But
talk about hockey, but it's all of them.
all of them.
Mm-hmm.
But you maybe think that since it is so ingrained in sports, since it starts so young, that maybe they just kind of got, like, numb to it.
Like, this is just what happens.
Like, maybe this is just what you have to deal with to make it in this league. Like,
that's gone through my head, too, and I can't make that make sense.
oh, no, it doesn't make sense. But
totally a valid point, what you're saying, because
Yeah.
I've thought about that, too, because, yeah, like you said, it's so deeply ingrained. And
not that it's accepted.
No, not at
Like,
all.
I wasn't putting it like they were thinking that it's acceptable in the
Right.
sport, but just
That's just how it goes.
that's just what it is. That's what you have to deal with.
Yeah, like, how many times, as just a person outside of sports, you're just like, oh, well, I'm just going to get creepy comments because that's what people do. Like, that's not okay. That's not okay. And yeah, this is a much bigger extent to that, but it's like, it doesn't just start with the
Right.
assault. It starts
Oh, for sure.
lower with, like, comments and this is what happens and do anything for your team. And it's more about what's on the front of the jersey than the name on the back of the
Right.
jersey. And that's how it
Exactly.
starts.
Oh, 100%.
And so once it gets to this point,
There's only
people don't know what to do. And then they try to do something and nobody listens.
and they get made fun of, and nobody helps them, and
So then you go back into that shell of, oh, this is just how it is.
yep.
And that's not okay.
Oh, no, it's not.
I wish that we could have the answers for how to fix it, but we don't. And we're not in that position to fix something
Right.
like that. All we can do is talk about it and keep people aware that this is still going on and not let it just get hidden behind big headlines like they traded for Seth Jones. And
They hired 8 women.
woo!
Like, okay,
Congratulations!
cool. You should have done that a while ago. But
Yeah, that shouldn't be a big headline, but it is.
and that's not negating from the fact that they did
No.
that. Like, it's so cool that women are more involved in this team.
Absolutely,
Like,
but
that's great.
now
but
I
it-
can't look at it and see good intentions
Because
behind
it just feels like a distraction.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, we did this good thing. Don't talk about that anymore. Look at us over here.
And then you just have to wonder the things that they've done the past couple years, how many of those things have been distractions,
Right.
so that this doesn't get more steam like it has once Rick Westhead caught on with TSN and started reporting about it incessantly, so that other people saw it and were like, wait, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like going back to when they fired John McDonough. That could have been
sure
about
makes
this.
you think, huh?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't either.
But now we have Seth Jones and his brother, and the organization is doing nothing. And that's where we are.
And we don't have Boquist anymore. Or our first round pick for
Next year. And there are a lot of good players left after that 11th / technically 12th pick this year that would have been great. But at the same time, they don't deserve it, which is a weird thing to try to reconcile in my head.
For sure.
Like, they deserve to get fleeced in these trades. They deserve to not get the best prospects.
They deserve to get shunned by every other team in the league. Like, that's obviously not going to happen, but...
Right. But it's the team that's had my soul for the past 11 years. I'm like, I want them to get the best prospects, and I want them to make good trades, and I want good things to happen. I don't know how to reconcile that up here.
It's hard. It's fucking hard.
Uh-huh.
Not only as a fan, but as a woman.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah.
It's just a lot to process.
It's a lot.
And I don't know how you even process it.
Nope.
Which is why we just have to keep talking about it.
I don't know if I hope that talking in circles about it will all of a sudden spark something. Like, oh, I have found enlightenment.
Right.
I know all of the answers now. Or it just makes it less frustrating to deal with day to day. I don't know.
I just hope, even if we only reach one person with this, that they continue to talk about it. That it just has this domino effect until people fucking care.
Yeah. And if you have been a fan of this team and still are a fan of this team, know that you aren't alone in struggling with this.
No.
Because, like, I can't talk for you or anybody else, but I don't know what to do.
Oh, me either. I'm with you on that.
I don't know how to feel. Except I hate myself every time I think good things about this team. And I think, oh, I want them to get this player or this player.
And then you're like, oh, well, they don't fucking deserve
They don't
that.
deserve this. And I don't want them to have good things, but they're my team. And
Yep. It's hard.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to do. That's all it comes down to.
It's just very troubling,
Yeah.
to say the least.
Yep. And I feel like anything will be, to say the least, because again, there's no words.
This is huge.
There's no words that will accurately portray anything you could feel about this. I don't know. This is season 3 of Roasted.
Fuck. Fuck.
Kicking it off with a banger.
Is there even anything good to talk about? Have they done anything?
Them? No.
Has the league?
No, I could give you something funny if you want to end this on a funny note.
Okay, let's add a funny note.
Cool, let me find it. The Edmonton Oilers.
Oh, Jesus.
Signed Mike Smith to a 2-year deal worth $2.2 million per season.
Love that for him.
He's 39. He will be 41 when that contract expires.
Yeah, he will.
The Detroit Red Wings made a deal.
Oh my God.
With the Carolina Hurricanes for Alex Nedeljkovic. And let me find the full thing here. I was just looking at the signings. Detroit traded Jonathan Bernier, his signing rights, because he's a UFA.
Right.
And a 3rd-round pick this year that they got from Vegas for Alex Nedeljkovic, who was one of the best rookie goaltenders, and he had a very decent playoffs, really.
Mm-hmm. Why did they do that? Why?
If I thought there were no words for my team.
The Canes are usually a team that you like think of. Maybe they make decent deals. Like they don't do anything stupid.
Well,
but this?
Now.
What are you doing?
Let me see if I can find the tweet that I am thinking of.
Okay.
There it is.
Here it is.
So it was tweeted out by Nolan Bianchi at Nolan Bianchi, Bianchi. Steve Yzerman on the Alex Nedeljkovic trade. You're going to have to ask them why they were comfortable doing that.
Why? I agree. Why were they comfortable doing that? Why would you do that? He was such a good goalie. And you just gave him away.
Yeah, so here's another one.
Okay.
This is from at Free Nylander. Is it a bad time to mention that the Oilers paid more for Duncan Keith, 38, full cap hit, than the Red Wings just paid for Alex Nedeljkovic, 25, posted a .932 save percentage last year. And the Oilers just brought back a 40-year-old goalie instead.
Yeah, they did.
Edmonton. We need to chat. Because I'm confused.
Quite.
I'm confused.
Yes.
There were more trades that happened today, but, let's see what else happened here. Carey Price has been given a 10 to 12 week recovery timeline following his knee surgery. This is a good one. From Micah Blake McCurdy at Ineffective Math. This one goes back to this Midwestern Illinois team. Seth Jones, traded to Chicago, is a weak defender both at driving shots at 5v5 and 5v4, and also weak at preventing shots against at 5v5. Finishing is ordinary. Penalty kill is good.
Woo!
Let's pay $9.5 million for a PK specialist.
9.5 for 8 years. 8 years. Every time I think about it.
From Mark Lazarus. The Blackhawks will have 3 of the top 15 cap hits in the league in 2022-23.
I love that for them.
From James Naveau. Columbus had no leverage at all and still managed to pry 2 first-round picks, a second-round pick, and a 20-year-old defenseman out of the Blackhawks. Congratulations, Stan. Now I hate all of this deal. From Nick Alberga. The Blackhawks will enter 2022-23 season, paying Patrick Kane, Jonathan Taves, and Seth Jones a combined $30.5 million.
Love that for them.
From Ben Pope. Blackhawks select defenseman Nolan Allen with 32nd pick. An off-the-board pick. He was 59th in TSN's rankings, 40th in the Central Scouting rankings, plays for Prince Albert in the WHL.
Great.
From Mark Lazarus. Bowman says Jones doesn't necessarily accelerate the process, but complements it, saying getting a player of his caliber is one of the reasons they've moved money around, not too concerned about last year's woes. He's got all the attributes you look for in a modern defenseman. Which, I don't know what that really means.
No.
I don't know what they were thinking, first of all. They have all of this going on that we've already discussed, and they trade for a player whose mother was bullying fans on Twitter.
See, I missed that whole thing.
The player who was liking tweets that was against the Black Lives Matter movement, even though,
Wait, who?
Seth Jones. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So.
Oh. What?
Yeah. Not only do they have the whole thing that we've just discussed going on, but they have all of the things with the name and the logo being racist.
Yeah.
And then that. So
like,
they've got a brand and they're sticking to it.
It's not a good one.
It's not.
Bad brand.
But let's go to a different team because I can't think about them anymore.
Go. Let's fucking go.
Talked about that hilarious Andrew Ladd trade from the Islanders to the Coyotes. Mm-hmm. Well, the Coyotes were at it again today. Or 2 days ago now, I guess. Did that really happen 2 days ago? What the fuck? Anyway, right? So, Arizona acquired Shane Gostisbehere and a 2022 second-round pick and a 2022 seventh-round pick from the Philadelphia Flyers for future considerations.
Yep.
Gostisbehere, a second-round pick, and a seventh-round pick next year.
For literally nothing. For literally nothing.
We've had 2 of these trades in the past week.
The NHL has lost its goddamn mind.
Uh-huh. The trade right after that was the Nedeljkovic trade.
Wait, that was today, wasn't it? Well, technically
this says yesterday. July 22nd, but that was definitely yesterday.
Yeah.
The Philadelphia Flyers acquired Rasmus Ristolainen from the Buffalo Sabres for Robert Hagg, a 2021 first-round draft pick, and a 2023 second-round draft pick. So, not only did they send a second and a seventh-round pick next year to Arizona for them to take Gostisbehere, but they paid a first and a second-round pick, a first-round pick this year, a 2023 second, for Rasmus Ristolainen, who nobody's been high on in a while. So there's that. The St. Louis Blues acquired Pavel Buchnevich from the New York Rangers.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, for Samuel Blais and a 2022 second-round pick. And then you have the Arizona Coyotes again and the Vancouver Canucks, and they made a trade. So the Vancouver Canucks acquired Oliver Ekman-Larsson and Connor Garland for all of their bad contracts. Antoine Roussel, Jay Beagle, Louis Eriksson, a first-round pick this year, So Arizona got a first-round pick after having to forfeit one, a second-round pick next year, and a seventh-round pick in 2023. But the thing is Oliver Ekman-Larsson's deal goes on for a few more years. Mm-hmm. And it's pretty bad because he's also on the decline. Mm-hmm. All of these contracts that Vancouver just traded to Arizona are up after this coming year. So there's that.
Why?
Mm-hmm. Then there was the Chicago trade.
Yeah, and the Chicago trade that's not going to be up until 2030. That one?
Yeah. Oh, there's a conditional pick. Which one is this? Let's see. Which one is the conditional? The 2022 conditional first round.
First round.
Conditions. Right? Oh, yeah. It's the lottery projected. Okay. Mm-hmm. I thought there was something more exciting.
No.
And then after the Blue Jackets did that and shipped him off to our state, they acquired Jake Bean from the Carolina Hurricanes for a second-round pick that they got from us.
Right. They immediately flipped it. Like, yes. Immediately.
Immediately.
Like, the second the paperwork went through.
Yeah. Yeah, there was that. And then the Detroit Red Wings moved up in the draft this year.
Yes, they did.
To number 15. And they traded away number 23 and a second-round pick and a fifth-round pick to the Dallas Stars. So they could take the goaltender, Sebastian Cossa.
Right. Cossa?
Sure. Minnesota also moved up to draft a goaltender. Mm-hmm. They traded with Edmonton. They sent the 22nd pick and a third-round pick, number 90, to the Edmonton Oilers for the 20th overall, where they took Jesper Wallstedt.
Right.
So now the Hawks, this team from Illinois, has to face Jesper Wallstedt and Yaroslav Askarov in the Central Division for years to come.
You know, if we hadn't given up our first round,
we could have taken one of those goaltenders.
Both of them, right? Like neither of them had been chosen in the top 10.
Mm-hmm. Yep, they were both there because the Chicago team would have selected technically 12th, but 11th. Sebastian Cossa was taken at 15, and Jesper Wallstedt was taken at 20.
Love it.
Yeah. A guy that, let's see, NHL Entry Draft 2021. Are they going to give me the actual list of players, or are they going to make this difficult? Oh, okay, there is one here. So a lot of people wanted the Chicago team to take Matthew Coronato because he played for the Chicago Steel, and he put up a lot of points doing so. And he was selected one pick after when this team would have chosen, so if they would have kept their pick.
13th.
Yep.
Love it.
Yep, but instead they went completely off the board and took Nolan Allen that I've never heard of. So there's that. I tried to end it happy, and then it just came back because the goaltenders.
You want to know how old we'll be when his deal's up?
Seth Jones'
That's
deal?
the one.
How old?
36.
Mm-hmm. Sure will. It's great.
My baby brother will almost be graduated by then.
It's so good. The New York Rangers signed Barclay Goodrow to a 6-year deal worth $3.641 million.
Okay.
So there was that.
There is that.
The Tampa Bay Lightning re-signed Jamel Smith to a 2-year deal worth $750,000. Fun fact, I matched with him on Tinder.
That's him?
When he was in Rockford playing the Ice Hawks.
Imagine how different your life could be if you were one with a man.
That's, the opposite of what I am. Yeah, that was funny. I had downloaded the app just for funsies to swipe through it, and I saw him pop up. I was like, I know that name.
I know him.
That's a hockey player. So I swiped right, and we matched.
Did you ever talk to him?
Yeah, he asked if I had a Snapchat,
Oh.
And I did. And so I
But-
gave it to him, and it never went anywhere from there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, he has your Snapchat for future reference.
He does. I don't think he ever added me.
But
So I'm not really sure why he swiped right. But he did, because we
He's
matched.
probably one of those guys that's just like swipe, 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 swipe.
I guess. I mean, if you're a hockey player and traveling all over the place,
I mean,
especially on buses in the
Yeah.
AHL. I think he was with Texas at the time. I could be wrong about that. But that's my fun story about Jamel Smith. At least he wasn't weird.
yeah, he could have been creepy
He
and he
could have
wasn't.
been. No, he just asked if I had a Snapchat. And I
There
said,
you go.
yeah. But then he never added me, so that's kind of rude. But he wasn't creepy, so it's fine.
Always good.
Yep.
Always good.
Not
when
calling
you-
anybody out. It's just a fun story.
No, always good when you encounter a non-creepy man.
I agree. I agree, especially in the hockey world. Taylor Hall was re-signed by the Boston Bruins.
yeah.
4 years.
Yeah.
$6 million.
$6 million. You think he's worth it?
It depends which version of Taylor Hall you get.
The current one.
Is the current one like him in the playoffs for the Bruins, or like regular season for the Sabres?
I mean, the Sabres version wasn't very good.
And like 2 goals?
Big yikes.
If he goes back to that, then I would trade Seth Jones for Taylor Hall, because at least it's 4 less years.
My next question to you was going to be, what do you think Jones was worth? Like, what would you have been okay with paying him or trading for him, or
Nothing.
none? Nada.
I didn't want Seth
I know
Jones.
that we were very adamant on this podcast that we didn't need to go get Seth Jones, but alas,
It doesn't make sense.
no.
Didn't even get into how it doesn't make sense.
Him and his brother could be on a defensive line together.
Congratulations.
Family
Like I said to you
reunion on the
earlier.
defensive line.
Yeah. What if Caleb Jones turns out to be the better defender of the two? But they can't afford him because they're paying
Seth too much.
Seth Jones $9.5 million for 8 years. So they can't
They
re-sign
can't
Caleb,
re-sign.
who would be the better defender if that's how this turns out.
Oh, Lord. Not good.
But also, they said they were rebuilding. They just traded away 2 first-round draft picks. Yes, they recouped one this year, but they traded away one next year. And a 20-year-old defenseman.
And a 20-year-old defenseman. For how old is Seth Jones? 26?
27.
27.
27.
27.
I thought he was 26. He must have had a birthday. They always come around.
Always come around. You're always going to have a birthday.
As much as you try to put it off, it's always coming. 27. He's 7 years older than Adam Boquist.
Yeah.
He's on the decline,
Yes.
and he's making $9.5 million.
9.5. For
9.5
8 years.
for 8 years.
I could just keep saying that for another 4 hours.
They now have $5.9 million in cap space.
That's all?
They have to re-sign
We have so many.
Vinny, Alex Nylander, Pius Suter, Brandon Hagel, Adam Gaudette, David Kampf, Nikita Zadorov. Next year,
Oh, I don't want to talk about next year.
Dominic Kubalik,
Oh, boy.
Dylan Strome, Ryan Carpenter, Kirby Dock, Mike Hardman, Philip Kurashev, Mackenzie Entwistle, Calvin DeHaan's a UFA, Connor Murphy, Wyatt Kalnick, Caleb Jones, and all of our goaltenders.
Fuck. What are they going to do?
I don't care.
Yes. You want to end on that note?
We probably should, but I feel like I would be lying to our audience. And I don't want to do that. I try to tell myself I don't care.
I know. We shouldn't.
It's more so lying to myself than to you, because I'm trying to convince myself of it.
We shouldn't care.
We shouldn't care.
But we
really wish I didn't care. And then I started reading those names and I felt them in my soul. Like, those are my players.
Yeah. Yep. I think on some level it is possible to still love the players.
Except the two that were here.
Yeah, we just don't talk about them. Even though
Except they're the highest paid players on the team.
Captain and the highest scoring one.
Who knows if he's even coming back?
Not I, because they are still acting like, oh, well, we don't know if he's going to be ready. Even though the video he came out with was like, yeah, I should be good to go for training camp. But now they're like, oh, well, we'll see if he...
Which is the same bullshit we've been hearing since last offseason.
Right.
So I have no confidence that he's even coming back.
At this point, I personally have accepted that he's not, even though I have no basis. Like, I have nothing to base that on.
Yeah.
Except for the fact that
at this point,
we don't know.
When it comes to that, I genuinely don't care.
Yes.
Because we had a whole season without him.
That, and we don't know if he came back, what we were going to get.
Exactly.
So,
I don't
whatever.
care. I don't care.
Whatever.
That will be what it will be.
Yes.
The rest of this, unfortunately.
I think it is still possible to love those players without loving the team or the franchise or whatever you want to call it.
I have to think that most of them did not know.
Oh, yeah.
Because they weren't here.
Yes.
And why would they talk about that?
Right.
But now they do know. And a lot of them have to re-sign with this team.
Uh-huh. You got to think that's like a reason not to, right? If they have any type of, I don't really want to call it moral, but at the same time, like, you got to figure out when money becomes more important to you than...
But there's also...
working for shitty people.
So many roster spots in the league.
Also that.
And if you have a chance to play next to one of the best hockey players in the world, you're going to put up pretty good points.
Yep.
So you could go somewhere else. I don't know. I mean, there's a difference between the UFAs and the RFAs. Because UFA, you can just go where the fuck you want to go.
Right.
If you're an RFA and they qualify you, I mean, they still have your rights.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're kind of stuck.
Right.
For the most part. I don't know. These are the things I try to make sense of in my brain. And it doesn't work.
No.
Because I just don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'd be going in circles.
Yep. Like, it's not worth the speculation, but I do wonder if Duncan Keith's leaving had anything to do with it. It's not worth speculating about because we don't know.
Had anything to do with the fact that he knew?
Yep. It's just weird timing. But COVID.
Well, that was another thing is people were saying that they were trading away Keith, which is supposed to be like this big distraction from, well, this is what happened.
Or I just don't want to deal with this shit anymore because I have for the last decade of my career.
Absolutely.
And I'm out and I want to just go somewhere where I can play hockey and see my son.
Yep.
I don't know.
Full speculation on everything that we talk about, but...
We don't know shit.
We're just two girls just hanging out.
Confused. As always. About this fucking team.
Yep. Got anything else?
I don't think so. Surprisingly.
Yeah.
Usually I can think of something. I feel drained.
I agree.
It's also 1 a.m.
Also that.
And it's been a fucking day.
The longest day.
Yeah.
I can't believe the draft went on for like 4 hours.
That's part of it.
Why was that necessary?
I don't know.
Why? There were only 31 picks.
Mm-hmm.
Why could they not have gone like they usually do when everyone is in the building? Why did it have to be this big production where each pick gets like 25 minutes. All right, that's an exaggeration.
And nobody has a personality.
Nobody had a personality.
Especially Bettman.
Fuck you, Bettman. But like...
Not blinking. That was creepy.
He didn't blink for like 3 minutes. Is he a robot?
I think so.
Is he a lizard man?
Like, I was trying really hard not to blink because I wanted to see if he would blink. So it was like a staring contest.
We were like taking turns blinking so one of us could be watching.
It was like a staring contest he didn't know about. But he was participating because he wasn't blinking.
He was not blinking.
It was creepy.
He wasn't blinking. You could tell he was reading from a teleprompter. His voice was so monotonous.
It was so monotone. What if we sat here the whole podcast and just talked like this?
I don't really think anyone would listen to us, and they would be right to do that.
Yes, they would. I don't think I could even keep this up, really.
No, I have too much
emotion.
I have too many emotions.
I have a lot of those. Unfortunately.
Do you?
I do. Yeah, this is how season 3 starts, and I'm kind of mad at them for it, but that is what it is.
This has been From Center Ice, the podcast.
Thanks.
She's Courtney.
I am. I sure am most days.
I'm Jacqueline.
You sure are.
Most days.
Most days. Some days I don't know who I am or what day it is. Like
also
today.
that.
We're on social media.
We are. I would tell you the links, but also you could just go to FromCenterIce.com and they will all be there.
They are.
You could just click them.
But if you want them spelled out, it's at From Center Ice Pod on Instagram and at VF Center Ice Pod on the Twitter machine.
You can email us at vfcenterice
at
gmail.com.
Mm-hmm. YouTube. If you are not watching this on YouTube already, youtube.com/c/FromCenterIce.
Come look at our faces while we talk.
Yeah, this was probably a real fun one to watch.
I know I did a lot of covering. But you know.
It's fine.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
Yep. Totes fine.
Totes fine.
I mean, yeah. You can see me like tear up about this team like 20 million times on this channel so far.
Yeah. It'd be like that.
Yeah, there's like 19 million in this episode. Then there's that one Nashville game that was a mess. Hagel did things, and it was nice. Mm-hmm. I wish he was a Toronto Maple Leaf. It would feel better. But, you know, it's fine. He's an RFA. It's okay. It's okay. Everything's fine.
This has been episode 1 of season 3.
Season 3, episode 1. I hope this doesn't
become a pattern.
Yeah, lay the groundwork for the rest of season 3.
Yeah, let's not keep it like this.
No, it's not really up to us,
It's
though.
not. They need to stop doing things that they're doing or start doing things that they're not doing. And then we won't have to.
Both of those things. That would be nice. Because my soul is tied to this team, whether I like it or not.
Yep.
And I just have to try to come to terms with that and figure that out. If you have any tips, let me know.
Let us know. Comment. Tweet at us. Email us.
Commiserate with us.
All of that. We got a Facebook, too. It's just From Center Ice.
It's there.
It's a page.
We don't really do anything with it.
No. But it's there.
Sure is. Always leave these episodes on a downer note. Has anything good happened to you lately?
It happened to me. I got my nails done.
There you go.
At a new place.
There you go.
They got the shape right. They
That's
didn't
good.
make a big deal about me wanting them pointy.
Do most places usually?
The place that I was going to did, yes.
Really?
They were like, they made it sound like I was asking for the world. Like, literally just sharpen them. That's all I want.
That's all you have to do. It's just a nail file.
Just sharpen the nails. And they made a big deal about it. But I went to this new place, and I was like, I want them sharp and pointy. And they were like, sharp and pointy? And I was like, yes. And she's like this, and she did one of the nails, and I was like, that's fucking perfect. Yes. Continue that. And she did.
Good. They kind of look like seashells.
Yeah, they've got like that opalescent
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I like it. It's pretty.
Yeah.
What about you? What happened to you lately that you like?
I saw an elk yesterday.
I was going to say, didn't you meet an elk?
I did. It had antlers.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. They're at a forest preserve.
Did he have a name?
No.
Did you name him?
I didn't. I should have.
Name him right now.
I was very concerned about trying to see how many there were in this forest preserve, but nobody knows.
Nobody knows?
No, it's not even on the internet.
Wow.
So,
if the internet doesn't know it, then...
I know. But I met an elk, and that was very exciting because they're cute. And I learned that they're in the same family as deer and moose.
Did you not know that?
Well, you know, you can never really be sure unless you confirm it.
They're all large mammals with antlers.
Yes. But sometimes things throw you off.
Like
you
what?
know? I don't know. They could have been their own thing. But they're
That's
not.
fair.
Like,
That's fair.
deer are the smallest.
Yeah.
And then there's elk.
And then there's fucking moose.
Then there's moose.
Scary moose.
But elk, the males, they can have antlers that are up to 4 feet tall. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's terrifying. And they can jump like 8 feet vertically. So,
I don't like that.
yeah, so watch out.
Did you see a male or a female?
Both.
Both.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Had to wait a while. They were just like hiding in the grass.
Uh-huh.
It was very strange. Like the
Was
grass.
it like tall prairie grass?
Yes, but it didn't seem like it was tall enough to hide a fucking elk.
Right.
But it was, because they would just stand up, and I was like, what the fuck? Where did that come from? It's like there was an elevator portal that would just lift them up.
Like the people do at concerts.
Yeah. Like when Britney comes up from the stage.
She
Yeah.
comes up and it's Britney, bitch.
Exactly. It was like that.
But elk.
But elk. Yeah. So
I'm an
they're
elk,
like,
bitch.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah. There's female. There was like a teenager.
Was there just like a fence between you guys?
Mm-hmm.
Was it more than 8 feet tall?
I hope so. I would assume so, unless they didn't do their research. But they don't know how many elk are there, so I don't know what kind of research they do. Yeah.
Maybe they just have elk there and don't know shit about them.
Maybe. But I did see an adult male, and he had real big antlers, and I kind of wanted to hop on his back.
I was going to say, are you going to ride the elk?
I thought about it. It was a legitimate thought that went through my head when I saw the antlers. I know. Like, you're kind of like a moose, except smaller.
You're smaller
and they kind of have, like, cow noses.
Yeah.
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 So, yeah.
So that's your fucking hooray.
It is. Elk. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I wish there were also deer and moose so I could compare
them.
Yeah.
I don't know if you would want to be that close to a moose.
Have you met me?
I mean, you have been unintentionally.
Have you met me?
Only for 15 years. And I continue to meet you almost every day.
This is true. Then you should know that I would love to be that close to a moose, actually. I want to ride a moose.
Would you like to ride a moose in the water? They'd be swimming. They'd be diving.
They do. As long as they like let me come up for air, then sure.
Yeah, because they can stay under for what, like 20 minutes?
Something like that.
How the fuck?
They can also like run on water.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how moose work.
I've seen the videos.
Mm-hmm.
They are not Jesus.
No.
How do they be on the water like that?
I don't know. You know what's kind of more terrifying?
What?
Hippos that run underwater.
Hippos will fuck you up.
Yeah.
Did you know they also shit and like flap their tails around and like spray it everywhere as a defense mechanism?
What now?
I think you heard me.
I think I did, but I wish I hadn't.
Don't look up videos of that.
I don't want to. I saw videos of them running underwater, and that was terrifying because they can hop so they can take breaths again, and they chase boats.
They can run at like 30 miles an hour underwater. Have you ever tried to run in water?
Yeah, you don't really go anywhere. It's like trying to run in a dream.
Yes. Oh, yes, you're right.
That's what running underwater is like. But hippos,
water just doesn't care about them.
They just take off. I wonder who would win in a race between a moose
or a hippo?
Yeah.
I don't know. Because, like, hippos got that girth.
They do.
But, like,
Maybe moose are more
Moose.
aerodynamic.
Possibly.
But they got the antlers.
But maybe the antlers don't slow them down.
Maybe not. Maybe they're like
I mean,
a
if
booster.
a fucking hippo can...
Yeah, they're not very
they're not
aerodynamic. They're real big.
Big old round boys.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. But if moose can run on water and also underwater, like, are moose God? Are there some people who believe that moose are gods?
I guarantee you, yes. Did you just become one of them?
I did. I'm converted. I talked myself into it. Nobody needed to try to convert me.
No,
I'm just here.
You got it.
Yeah.
You're there. You made it to that point.
I want a pet moose.
Yes. So you could ride him around?
Yeah, and then it could attack people that I don't like.
Hell yeah.
And it would also have a friend llama, who is my pet as well.
Of course.
Because it would spit at people and then the moose would chase them.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm here for that.
This sounds amazing.
Aspiration for a later day.
Yeah.
Tell us who would win in a fight, a moose or a hippo?
Yeah. And who would win in a race?
Tell us who is the god.
I wonder if a
moose or hippo.
I wonder if a hippo could like take out a moose like a bubbling ball because they're shorter.
Like a bowling
ball. Moose are fucking
just knock them out at the knees.
Yeah. Because like they have knees,
They
right?
do.
Like, they have some sort of joint.
Yeah, it'd be bending.
Yeah. And that's what joints do.
They do that.
And seeing pictures of like moose next to cars.
Terrifying.
Just
they're
walking
like,
down the middle of
they're like 11 feet at the shoulder or some shit like that.
I don't know what I would do.
I mean,
I would be amazed, but I really don't know.
You got out of the car to
I didn't get out of the car.
No?
I stayed in my car.
Stayed in your car. Okay, smart one.
Yeah. If they wouldn't have like walked back into the forest, I might have gotten out of my car. But I was like, oh, it's walking away. There's no point.
That's fair. That's fair.
But maybe if it would have presented itself more, I would have gotten out of my car, which it would have then been more dangerous.
Yes.
It's fine.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
It didn't happen. But if I saw one walking down the middle of the road, I definitely wouldn't get out of my car.
Oh, absolutely not. That's terrifying.
Because they're massive.
So big.
And they can really fuck you up. But it'd be amazing.
It would be. I feel like they're very majestic.
They are majestic.
Because they're like terrifying, but they're also beautiful.
And they walk slowly.
Yes. I feel like if you
majestic.
walk slowly, it's definitely...
Yeah.
It's a factor.
It's like in The Sims when you're famous, you have the fame walk and you walk super slowly around everywhere, which is really annoying when you're
obnoxious.
Playing that sim, but you can turn it off. That's kind of like what moose are.
Yeah.
They're famous
Sims.
Yeah. Moose are awesome. It's amazing that I'm not a Manitoba fan because they are the
Fuck
moose.
the meese.
The Esoom.
Fuck the Esoom.
The Esoom. Do a moose roll. And going back to AHL games is going to be interesting. They just dropped the schedule. I didn't really look at it.
Today?
It sure was.
That was today.
It's been a fucking day. I haven't even looked at it yet.
Such a day. Wow.
I know we play Henderson.
What?
Silver Knights.
Oh, Henderson.
Henderson.
Yep. It's a Henderson.
Nope. Nope. We don't play the band Hinder.
I was a little confused.
Anyway. Now I'm just talking for the sake of talking. Because I don't really know how to end this episode, so I'm just talking about moose.
Tell us about the moose and the hippos.
Yes.
Who would win in any type of battle?
What's your favorite animal?
Tell us your favorite animal.
Yeah. That I want to know. We will incorporate them.
We will. Oh, wait. We will talk about your favorite animals.
We don't want to talk about our team. We'll talk about your favorite animal.
Hell yeah.
But go follow us on social media. And give us ratings and reviews. And subscribe on the YouTube.
Yeah.
This is season 3.
Season 3.
Man.
That's crazy.
What awaits us in season 3?
Oh.
It's not starting well.
Bad foundation.
I don't even remember how season 2 started.
It can only get up. It can only get
better?
It can only get better. It can only go up from here.
Can it?
Not with the way I just struggled to say that.
It's like you didn't believe yourself that hard that you couldn't get the words out.
I thought I had it, and then I didn't, and then I did.
I don't really know what just happened.
It can only go up from here. It can only get better from here.
I don't know about that. Seeing as it just keeps getting worse.
It can be better than this.
It can.
I didn't say it will.
On that note, it can be better than this.
It can be better than this,
so
guys.
Just hope for that can.
Stick around.
Stick around. See if it does. Or not.
Or not.
If it's a not, this is going to get real interesting real quick.
We have fun, though.
We try. We'll talk about moose for you.
Yeah.
I'll look up random facts about moose.
We could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Maybe that's what this will become, the Random Fact Moose podcast.
The Random Fact Moose podcast. I love it.
And spontaneous combustion, because we can't just leave that in season 2.
Oh, no. That will come
It'll come back.
Make a guest appearance again.
Yes. You'll have to find some way to bring it back.
Oh, I can do that.
Good
Bye.
talk. Bye.